Hello, everyone. Welcome to a safe space with Dr. Lillie. What are we covering today? The Nolan Wells case pertaining to trauma, grief, and loss. Nolan Wells' family is grieving, but they have not been allowed to properly grieve due to the Mississippi law. Due to Ocean Springs don't care about Nolan Wells' family, in my opinion. Hello, King Allen. Thank you for coming. I love you. Ocean Springs. I feel they owe Nolan Wells' family a lot. They are not able to grieve the way that a family and a loved one should be able to grieve. Transparency is important, but they're not receiving it. I feel like the DA is not giving it to them. I feel like his supposed to have been friends have not allowed Nolan Wells' family to grieve properly. Because if they truly cared about Nolan Wells, they would have went to the mother, sat with the mother, talked with the mother, even their parents, Judge Ashley Cole. But the first thing that Judge Ashley Cole had them to do was to deactivate their social media. I smell a rat. I smell a possum. I smell an Elon Musk rat, and it don't smell good. Something is not adding up with what has happened to Nolan Wells. I'm not going to let nobody try to convince me that it was just a drowning, because it wasn't. Because if it was a drowning, you best believe the Mississippi law will be out there stating it now. But they're saying they're taking the autopsy to the grand jury. Who pretty much makes the decision, help the grand jury make the decision? The prosecutor. They pretty much go with what the prosecutor says. I think it would be worse than Mississippi burning. These black folks ain't gonna burn down their own homes. No, not this time. Not this time. Much more gonna be worse. Because black people is to the point we're sick and tired of y'all playing in our face. Black people are not gonna let you keep telling them that, okay, it's sushi side. Okay, undetermined. No. Miss Turner should be put in a prison, in my opinion. She didn't give a DAMN about the black bodies that she has done autopsy over. Compulsive liars don't care about anyone. Hit that like button as you're coming in. Hit the like button. So I'm kind of gonna give you little bulletproof points of what we're gonna discuss of accountability that Ocean Springs are not taking. Judge Ashley, the Mississippi prosecutor, Black Americans under attack. You're gonna get even different point of views from the white race. See, this is the thing. When white people come to my live, if I just use only black faces, they're not gonna comprehend. But I take their own people and use them against them. That really works. Reverse psychology. Tatum, the Uncle Tom. Tatum is a lapdog for the white race. Nancy Grace, Tristan. We're gonna let that little. We got something about that little twerk, that little tweaky. I say that. So people that know what tweaky is, you know what I'm talking about. More on Bart Simpson. Hit the like button as you are coming in. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can send me super chat, super stickers, and you can send me cash out where I can get it tonight instead of having to wait 30 days from now. Because when you send me money now, I have to wait 30 days from now to get the money. You don't get the money in the same night, nor the same week or the same month. It's the following month. Okay, I'm gonna put my cash app in the chat in just a moment. King Allen, put my cash app in the chat, baby. And I'll pin it, okay? It's a lot to cover tonight. So I hope I can get all this done in one night. Because sometimes I don't get to cover everything because I save so much that I want to discuss on my channel and never get to discuss it all. And please don't distract me with y'all nonsense tonight. We got a lot to cover. Let me do the Lord's work. Okay, we're going to get started. Blacks in Mississippi, this is my opinion. They should no longer support white-owned businesses there until there is justice for Nolan Wells. Do not support any white businesses in Mississippi. If you black, you got to put your foot down. Do not support any white businesses in Mississippi. I know some of you in my chat going to be offended, but black people got to put their foot down because we don't get respected. Mississippi does not respect the black race at all. This has been going on for centuries and years, hundreds of years. But this country itself does not respect black people. But Mississippi, in my opinion, the number one most racist state in this country, definitely do not respect the black race. They have showed us time and time again. They went from wearing the white sheets, now they wear the red hats, and they're bold with it right now. So you got to be even more bolder, black people. Do not support white businesses. Put your foot down, put your foot across their necks. You can't do it. We want justice. We're not going to keep accepting anyone playing in our face. It's not right. We are human beings just like them. We are God's children just like they are. No one is better than the other. Let's get started. Pertaining to the Nolan Wells case, the trauma is the event of what has happened to Nolan Wells, and we're still trying to figure out what happened to Nolan Wells. Grief is what his family is feeling, what the black community is feeling, what some of my white sisters and brothers are feeling. The loss is Nolan Wells. Okay, could it be some arrest coming soon? We're hopeful that there's going to be some arrest coming soon. Put it in the chat if you think there would be some arrest coming soon. But I'm going to tell you something that's tacky about Mississippi and the FBI. Nolan Wells' mother has received several threats. Did the FBI or anyone in Mississippi arrest anyone that has threatened Nolan Wells' family? I'll wait. Let me hear. Has the FBI nor the police in Mississippi in Ocean City arrest anyone that has threatened the Nolan Wells family? No. But guess who they arrest somebody for? Because she white. In America and Mississippi, white is right. Because the judge actually received threats because her skin is supposed to be better in the black persons, the black family. They arrested now 3 people, but there has not been not one arrest for the Nolan Wells case. Y'all can kiss my grits with that and eat it. Eat it, eat it, eat it. I mean, eat all of it. Get all the brown stuff out. Because y'all like to toss salad. Eat it. I'm disgusted with Mississippi. Black people, if you live in Mississippi, do not spend not one cent with a white business. You have to be stern. Do not spend a penny with a white business in Mississippi. Put your foot down and stop being somebody they can walk over. Stop it. Take a listen to this. Could it be some arrest coming soon? Just a moment.
Information on the state-ran autopsy report.
Take a listen.
And if my inside information is correct, it could lead to some arrests soon.
I've never known an autopsy report not to be a public record unless they're claiming ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
Now, why is the autopsy being kept secret?
Because it's continued investigation. They're going to go to grand jury with this. We don't have it with Charlie Kirk. You know, that's an ongoing event. This is being investigated. I'll bet you dollars to donuts if that's the case.
Now, before I give you this insider information, I want to make one thing abundantly clear. I do not trust anybody in Mississippi.
Anyone.
I do not trust the governor. I don't trust the DA. I don't trust the medical examiner, Stacey Turner. And I for damn sure do not trust Mississippi law enforcement.
Amen.
But when it comes to the Nolan Xavier Wells case, I do trust Nancy Grace. And last night, Nancy Grace platformed Joseph
I
Scott
trust Nancy
Morgan.
Grace 100%.
Joseph is a forensic death investigator. He's also a professor, and he has over 10,000 death investigations under his belt. Yesterday on Nancy Grace, when Joseph said, I would bet dollars to donuts when speaking of the investigation, he seemed very confident. So I made some calls to people who know Joseph personally.
Highland
Now,
Rock.
while I don't personally trust any Mississippi officials, allegedly, Joseph has it on good information that the autopsy will remain sealed because there will be some arrests soon. And he feels very confident that there is an honest investigation going on in the DA's office. I have a lot more information on Joseph and more information.
I agree with you. Pillin 28, he says, she, I don't know if it's a man or woman, says, made Mississippi still racist, but that doesn't make all white people racist. That is a fact. It does not make all white people racist. We got Alan up here. Alan definitely isn't racist at all. We got a lot of white people in here, and they're not racist. So you're stating a fact. Carl says, who did that to your face? Your daddy when he left your mama for me. Ari says that I'm already don't know what to say first anymore. Travis Murphy says, sup, doc? What's up? What's good, baby? Legendary Stuff says, laugh out loud. Solid Dust 23 says, Abraham Lincoln ain't racist. Abraham Lincoln was actually a race breed, or a mixed breed, half white, half black. Hey, Queen Lynn, I'm white and I'm not racist. And I think racist is evil. It is. It is very evil. Thank you, Queen. Ori says, no. You didn't read a lot before. I don't know what you mean, Queen. A male. I don't know if you're male or female. I don't want to misgender anyone. Let me scroll up. I'm trying to see if I see anything from you, Ori. Pillin 28. They say they're investigating. Until you live in a black body, we don't believe that. I'm a black woman. I do not believe they doing much. Mississippi is known for the coonery and the manipulation and sticking together and mistreating blacks. They don't care about a black body. We have learned that from Miss Turner, okay? Epitome 501. What do you mean? You said you racists are gonna keep getting arrested. 3 arrests. That lets me know you MAGA. Welcome to my live, MAGA. Now, send me some money because you're not going to waste my time for free. Let me tell you what white folks do. Y'all do this reverse psychology thing that do not work on black people. You have the fucking nerve to come in my chat and say I'm racist and I'm black. Do you know how dumb you sound? I'm going to let you live tonight. White people kill more black people than black people kill white people. Look up the statistics. Yes, there's 3 arrests, but what about Nolan Wells? He hasn't gotten any arrests. That judge is not going to be in any harm, honey. Trust me, she got bodyguards and all. The police, she worked with the police. She is not in any danger, in my opinion. I have a right to my opinion. Nolan Wells is D-A-D. She is walking around and breathing. That ugly son Warren is walking around and breathing. Y'all can kiss my ass with your bullshit. Moving along. You can't compare a death to people walking around alive. And their son just may have something to do with it. You're ignorant like your family. All the way back to your racist ancestors. Though your great-great-grandpa, they used to buck the black men in their But, and you got that in your genes, buddy. One moment, please. Take a listen.
Of the CTO call do we need to hear before?
Hold on. We're going to listen to some more about the CTO call.
Of the CTO call do we need to hear before we just all agree that they're playing in our faces? I mean, I said this at the start when ABC first put the CTO call out that something didn't make sense. You can clearly hear that there was more that somebody was saying at the beginning of the call before they clicked it to start talking to play the second part of the call. But why not just play the entire call through if you got the dispatch audio? And now Nancy Grace on her show last night.
Thank you, Queen Lynn.
Another version of the CTO call enhanced, where you can clearly hear them talking about covering him up and asking the same questions that we heard when Janetta Brentley enhanced the audio. But the only people who don't seem to be doing anything about it is the Mississippi Police Department.
Callers. Then I go through and simply raise the volume.
Now, this is Nancy Grace. She had her own technician that know about working with sounds and pulling voices apart and everything to get to the nitty gritty of what's on this recording from C-towing dispatch. Nancy Grace is amazing. So she had her technician to go even further so we can really hear it. So take a listen, babes.
Of all of the chatter we hear at the beginning of the call.
Oh my God, Nolan, don't D-I-E. That's what a lady said.
To make sense of what we're hearing, but Mississippi can't do the same. They have been investigating this case since July 6th when his body was found. Yet the internet has done more in finding information that is necessary for the case to be solved. And we still are not hearing from Mississippi. This is all a setup. I don't want to hear about Judge Ashley Cole anymore.
Judge Ashley need to lay off the hamburgers.
Nolan Wells's so-called former friends. I don't want to hear about the father starting a GoFundMe or whatever he started to sue Ben Crump for defamation when we're not hearing anything.
This is the thing. Go ahead and sue Ben Crump. Go ahead and sue Al Sharpton. You will be deposed. Do it, baby. Do it, baby. Do it. Come on. Because you exposing yourself more. Idiotic stupidity from one already done pretty much told it on himself in Bart Simpson.
What is happening in the investigation of Nolan Wells? How many enhanced versions of the CTO call?
Okay, moving along. That was from the CTO audio that Nancy Grace had to her technician to go in and make it we could hear a little bit more. And when he did, you can hear things that we couldn't actually hear before that was fuzzy and confusing. There should have been some arrest by now. Is No dead yet? But you said he wasn't on the boat with y'all. And old coon-faced Tatum said that he was not on the boat with y'all. Tatum, in his sick, twisted mind, that's still walking around with chains on his legs and behind his back, in the chain gang of racism and slavery, in his sick mind, he really think he was on that boat with those white boys. He think because he married white is right. One moment, please. Absolutely no white accountability has been taken. Take a listen to this. None.
What breaks my soul about what happened to Nolan Wells is that we don't teach our white children how to stand up for what's right. In Nolan Xavier Wells' case, he was a black teenager out with all white friends.
People have got to stop hanging out with groups of white people. If you're gonna be the only black person in that group, go home.
Yeah, Tatum is trash.
Obviously, we realize these pieces of crap, the white people, will turn on you.
If you don't have a moral soul, or a heart
No
for
white
somebody that
accountability.
don't look like you, then you're not my friend. We don't teach our children accountability, because if it's one thing that we really, really, really can't tolerate.
Let me start this
within
over.
white
This is
culture,
from White Mothers. Hold on.
that's
I'm going to start it over and let y'all watch. This is from
What
White
breaks my
Mothers.
soul about what happened to Nolan Wells is that we don't teach our white children how to stand up for what's right.
In Nolan Xavier Wells' case, he was a black teenager out with all white friends. People have got to stop hanging out with groups of white people. If you're gonna be the only black person in that group, go home. Go home. Obviously, we realize that these pieces of crap, the white people, will turn on you.
If you don't have a moral soul or a heart for somebody that don't look like you, then you're not my friend. We don't teach our children accountability, because if it's one thing that we really, really, really can't tolerate within white culture, that's accountability.
Or we, as white parents, talking to our white children about how they are to show up for their black friends.
And that has to change with us white mothers.
I had a conversation with our white son, and we also have to have conversations with our black children about potentially not trusting people who look like their parents. That those people who look just like the parents who surround them and love them might not be the safest people for them to be with.
Because these days, you just can't trust white people anymore, obviously.
Well, he was drinking and doing cocaine. I said, wait a minute. First, they haven't gotten a toxicology back, so that's a lie. Says, I don't know why they have to bring Al Sharpton here and Ben Crump just to stir up shit.
There is racism at the heart of this story, no matter what, because those white boys, their friends, instead of trying to get answers for his family, are lawyering up and becoming silent.
I said they have to. They won't get a fair trial if they don't. They have to have advocates. I said this shit gets swept under the rug in Mississippi. I said black people do not hang themselves in Mississippi.
Since the very beginning of this country, it has been a dangerous place to be black. This is deeply embedded into the history of this country, and it is not new, and it has not gone away. There are realities that we live in. There are patterns that we recognize that we then apply to these situations. And if you are a black person, you understand the danger that Nolan Xavier Wells was in just by being out with a group of only white friends in Mississippi.
Independent autopsy, and the people in Mississippi didn't even send his throat or his lungs. Why is that?
Black people are repeatedly telling you they are raised to believe they may not be safe in these circumstances for this exact reason. Down here in the South, okay? Down here in the South.
The cover up, and it's disgusting and gross. What breaks my soul about what happened to Nolan Wells is that we don't teach our white children how to stand up for what's right.
In Nolan Xavier Wells' case, he was a black teenager out with all white friends. People have got to stop hanging out with groups of white people.
Oh, hold on. My microphone failed. My microphone failed. Hold on. Me being a black woman living in America, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. I will give you like some of my own experience. I worked at Adidas when I was very young. I started working there when I was like 19 years old. Working, going to school, and had a child. I had a child at 19, started working. Well, I had a job before even 19. But anyway, so I worked at Adidas. This Russian guy, he's white, I'm black. I was friends with this very beautiful white girl named Beth. Beth had a body like a sister, just gorgeous white woman. Me and her was very close friends. Go out to eat together, everything. Well, Beth did not like Dennis. I'm not going to give his last name up. And Dennis was stalk her. Well, Beth decided she no longer wanted to work at Adidas. So one day, because it was a warehouse. I worked at a warehouse. Yes, I'm honest with my stuff. That's before I started working at Henson Law Firm. I was putting the shoes on the thing that carries the boxes of shoes down. And Dennis comes over and he's questioning me about where is Beth. Beth never liked him. He had a big crush on her, but she never liked him. And I wouldn't give him the information where Beth was because Beth left. And he got mad. So while I'm taking the shoes and putting them on the conveyor belt, he slammed the gate on my arm, but lied and said he didn't. My reflex, because I don't let nobody mistreat me. I don't care who it is. Nobody mistreats me. I slapped him hard as I could. So that man's face was swollen for about 2 weeks. I did not lose my job. He lied and said he never shut the conveyor belt gate on my arm, which he did. And I made him pay greatly. He felt, and I know he did, because he didn't think much of Black people. He from Russia and he did not think much of Black people. He let us know that. He felt, because I'm Black, he can do what he wants to with me. I felt I'm Black and I'm going to show you, you can't do whatever you want to me. And I slapped him into 2 weeks later. Black people need to put their foot down and do not, and I mean in Mississippi, do not shop with any white businesses. You need to sacrifice. That's what the slaves did back then to come out of slavery. They sacrificed. You better learn to sacrifice. Even in today's life, I sacrifice. That comes from your ancestors. You better dig way back and soul search. Because Nolan Wells is not getting any justice. Black people in Mississippi, listen to me. Do not shop with any white businesses. The dollar controls this country because this country is made of greed. They are trying to tell us that Nolan Wells does not matter. They are saying that they're not trying. They have showed us because there has not been one arrest for anyone that has threatened Nolan Wells' mother and his loved ones. But the white judge, Judge Ashley Cole, which her stepson just may have something to do with Nolan Wells no longer being here. Oh, the white law arrests 3 people for her. Have they arrested anybody for Nolan Wells being unalive? No. Because if it was a drowning, they would have said it was a drowning by now, because that's how white folks operate. And that's what they came out their mouth saying, no foul play. The white law said no foul play. And they was even saying it was a drowning. Now they're not even saying that anymore. So that tells me a lot. They know something happened to Nolan Wells. And even that white father of Warren father, that's a doctor of toxicology, he even said he would put up $50,000 to get information about what happened to Nolan Wells. But if it's a drowning and there's no foul play, white America, why would he make that statement to give $50,000 to anyone that has info on Nolan Wells? Well, the call is in the house. You better start with Warren. The call is coming from inside the house. White folks don't like when Black people outsmart them. They don't like when Black people can think for themselves. We're not in slavery anymore. You hear me, boy? We're not in slavery anymore. Warren's father is silly. He's childish. I don't care how much he make being a doctor, because you thought that was going to manipulate in some way, saying you're going to give $50,000. No, that told us more about who you are and who Warren and Ashley is. Again, Black people that live in Mississippi do not spend not one red penny with any white businesses in Mississippi. Don't do it. Put your foot down and let them know they're not going to keep playing in your face. Moving along. Why hasn't anyone been arrested for Nolan Wells unaliving? Obstruction to justice, maybe? Is that what's going on? One moment.
He's on that boat and they're beginning to sink and they're calling someone
Listen
to come
carefully.
and get them. They lied to police. The story that we understand they told was that they left that little island thing, and he was not with them. They left him there. So as they were going back, they make this call. If he's on that boat, Judge, that's a crime. So on that tape, if it's authentic, crimes were committed. If they told police that he was never on that boat, or it's obstruction of justice, it's lying to police.
Let's talk about, Michael, in this case, this is one where they didn't investigate it from the get-go, right? This is not one where the police showed up and found a body and said, we need to rule out foul play. We're going to investigate. We're going to talk to all the immediately. We're going to get all the information from everybody. They didn't do that. They went backwards. To me, in my mind, it's backwards to say, oh, we think he drowned or he must have drowned. And then after, I think what was...
See, this is another judge named Ashley. She's stating that they started from the beginning saying that Nolan drowned without even having a toxicology report, without the autopsy being completed on either side. The white law, the Bernie Fife from the Andy Griffin show, cop, Ledbetter, said that he didn't see any foul play. And they all were saying that Nolan Wells drowned. I think that Ledbetter needs to be fired. But Mississippi think they have their own rules and regulations to the law, that they don't have to follow that. That's why Bernie Fife, whatever you want to call him, from Andy Griffin show, Ledbetter, thought he could make that statement because Mississippi is like the mob. They don't think they have to follow the law. They think they set their own. Moving along.
The outcry of no way, that couldn't have happened. There's more to this. Then they start to investigate.
He's on that boat and they're beginning to sink and they're calling someone.
Obstruction to justice in the finest way you can put it. That's tampering with evidence too. Why has there not been any arrest, Mississippi, besides for Judge Ashley? Why? Let's flip the script. If it would have been 3 black boys and 1 white boy with them, those black boys wouldn't even been able to make it back home. They would have been arrested immediately. Because that's how the white people operate. Don't get offended because I'm telling the truth. If you can't handle the truth, that's not my problem. It's the truth. But because they're white and come from privileged homes, there has not been not one arrest pertaining to Nolan Wells, not on God's green earth anymore. Chris Angeli says, yeah, I just got off work trying to figure out why these white kids haven't been detained yet. Don't you think we are witness in a double standard doing this Nolan Wells unaliving? Please respond to me. You're right. We're witnessing it. We're witnessing the white law telling black people we don't give up about you. And we got to show them we don't give a fuck about you. Don't spend your money with the white businesses. I mean it. I mean it. I mean it. I'm emphasizing on it. Do not go to any white businesses and spend your money. I'm a country girl. I like Cracker Barrel, which I don't eat a lot of that stuff, but they used to have the best ham back when I used to eat ham. They wouldn't get the dime of mine. Any white business, don't spend your money. Sacrifice. If our ancestors did it, you can do it. You can do it. Put your back into it. Don't stop. Get it. We got to get to this justice. Because justice belongs to Nolan Wells. Judge Ashley Cole, you can't outsmart the great Nancy Grace. Let me tell you something. Judge Ashley think, oh, I run this town tonight. You don't run no town tonight. Ocean Springs is very small. You've been running for quite some time because what has happened? All those races have been put in the high places. all white. So you've been able to get away with it because y'all been sticking together, covering for each other. And this right here with Nolan Wells is a cover up. You can't outsmart Nancy Grace. One moment.
Come and get them.
How many enhanced versions of the CTO call do we need to hear before we just all agree that they're playing in our faces? I mean, I said this at the start when ABC first put the CTO call out that something didn't make sense. You can clearly hear that there was more that somebody was saying at the beginning of the call before they clipped it to start talking to play the second part of the call, but why not just play the entire call through if you got the dispatch audio? And now Nancy Grace on her show last night had another version of the CTO call enhanced where you can clearly hear them talking about covering him up and asking the same questions that we heard when Janetta Brantley enhanced the audio. But the only people who don't seem to be doing anything about it is the Mississippi Police Department.
Callers. Then I go through and simply raise the volume of all of the chatter we hear at the beginning of the call.
They said cover him up. Is he DEAD? Nolan. Oh my God. Nolan, don't DIE.
Why is it that so many people can get enhanced versions of the audio to make sense of what we're hearing, but Mississippi can't do the same? They have been investigating this case since July 6th when his body was found. Yet the internet has done more in finding information that is necessary for the case to be solved. And we still are not hearing from Mississippi. This is all a setup. I don't want to hear about Judge Ashley Cole anymore. I don't want to hear about any of Nolan Wells's so-called former friends. I don't want to hear about the father starting a GoFundMe or whatever he started to sue Ben Crump for defamation when we're not hearing anything about what is happening in the investigation of Nolan Wells. How many enhanced versions of the CTO call?
Again, the white Mississippi law, they have turned this thing around where Ashley is now the victim. Those young men that was on the boat with Nolan just may have, in my opinion, have done something to Nolan are the victims. When we all know Nolan Wells is no longer here on God's green earth. He is 6 feet under. He is the victim. But the white law always try to change it up. They want to change your perception because that's what the white law has always done. One moment, please. Give me just a moment. Just a moment, beautiful kings and queens. One moment. Okay.
Nancy Grace is not fucking around about the Nolan Wells case. She came back pressed, blessed, and she has those families stressed. So clear that something other than the narrative the families are telling in the Nolan Wells case happened to that kid. The digital data tells a completely different story. The autopsy was a mess. There is no way anyone in those families anticipated this much attention on Nolan Wells. Wait and see, because I think some of those kids are going to start talking. Nancy Grace is relentless.
Have a good night, Travis.
On Casey Anthony's neck. The attention isn't going away. It's only going going to amplify. Incredible way for Nancy Grace to use her white privilege. That's how you do it. Nancy Grace doesn't need the money. She didn't have to come out of retirement. I'm not sure she's even practicing law. Said something's wrong here, and she's using her platform and her celebrity to bring attention to an issue that very easily could have been ignored. And that's how you do it. That's how white people can be used to help Black and brown community. Nancy Grace is not fucking around about the Nolan Wells case. She came back pressed, blessed, and she has those families stressed. So clear that something other than the narrative the families are telling in the Nolan Wells case happened to that kid. The digital data tells a completely different story. The autopsy was a mess. There is no way anyone in those families anticipated
Hello,
this
Mr.
much attention on Nolan
Taco.
Wells. Wait and see, because I think some of those kids are going to start talking. Nancy Grace is relentless. She still has her foot on Casey Anthony's neck. The attention isn't going away. It's only going to amplify. Incredible way for Nancy Grace to use her white privilege. That's how you do it. Nancy Grace doesn't need the money. She didn't have to come out of retirement.
Ashley, Judge Ashley Cole, let those boys be interviewed by Nancy Grace. Can you do that? If we want to get to the bottom of this, let those young men be interviewed by Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace, and I am 52. I'm probably a year or so younger than her, probably. I'm 52. I may be a couple years younger than her. I am 52 years old. Nancy Grace, when I used to watch on television when I was much younger, she puts the fear of God in you. Trust me. And we need that in our lives. See, those boys, they're grown men, 18 and over. I'm not going to let the white law come with that boy stuff like you always do. Those young men, they haven't had anyone to put the fear of God in them. Because if they did, they would know how to love. Because when you really know God and you got the fear of God in you, you fear what God think and feel about you, you ain't doing the stuff they're doing. You don't think you're better than somebody else because you got money, because you wear this, you wear that, you drive this, you drive that. No, you know better. Those boys, men, let me correct myself, were not raised properly. I don't care that they got a judge for a stepmother, a father for a doctor. Some of them are the worst kids. I know people, their dad is a pastor. A friend of mine I went to college with, her dad was a pastor. She started having kids in her teens, and her dad is a pastor. He's still a pastor at a mega church. So y'all can't tell me nothing. I know what I'm talking about. Just because you have parents in high places do not mean those kids are not rotten. Those young men are rotten. They don't respect a Black person. They look at you that you are less than them. So this is what you need to do, Black people in Mississippi. Hear me out. Stop spending your money with white businesses in Mississippi. Do not spend any more of your hard-earned money with any white business in Mississippi. See, here in Atlanta, they got Black farmers. They got Black farmer stores you can go to buy your fruits and vegetables, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You got to know how to cook too and make stuff at home. If somebody didn't teach you how to cook, you better start getting on YouTube and look it up. Go look at some of my old videos. I've cooked in some of my old videos before I actually become like a content creator doing this. You got to know how to cook. And those Black farmers are not expensive. Now, if you're going to buy organic, you can't complain. One moment, please.
Secret Service Sam
Secret Service Sam. Subscribe to Secret Service Sam.
Just keeps sticking out. Secret Service Sam here for Nolan Xavier Wells update. And here's something that just keeps sticking out to me, all right? There is a text that Ashley Cole sent Christine Walmsley on July 7th, okay? This is a day after her son, Nolan Wells,
very
was
knowledgeable.
found. And she says this, Christine, this is Ashley Cole. If or when you ever want to talk to me, this is my number. Now, Officer Race Tatum posted this. I verified this with...
What happened? Hold on, y'all. Let me go back. So, Ashley, girl. Ashley, instead of going over to Nolan Wells' home Judge Ashley Cole sent a text message, and that's from Secret Service Sam. He communicates with Christine, Nolan's mom. Everybody loves Secret Service Sam. He communicates with Christine Wansley, Nolan Wells' mother. He has a copy of a text message that Judge Ashley Cole sent Christine Wells Wansley. She didn't say, you have my condolences. She didn't go over there and sit with and console her. She didn't go to the funeral, and you a judge, girl. What she did do had those young men to deactivate what? Their social media. Yeah. One moment. Let me read to you what she sent Christine, the prestigious Judge Ashley Cole. Didn't say any condolences. She says, Christine, this is Ashley Cole. If or when you ever want to talk to me, this is my number. It wasn't, I am so sorry what happened to Nolan. We love Nolan. You need anything, let me know. She didn't send roses. She didn't send yellow flowers. She didn't send yellow lilies. Everybody knows to send some kind of flower arrangement. Everybody knows you send maybe a turkey because they're going to have people over. You send maybe even spaghetti from Maggiano's. You can have stuff delivered. Trust me. Y'all know that in these days. You could have done something, Judge Ashley Cole. But no, you sent Christine Wansley this. Christine, this is Ashley Cole. If or when you ever want to talk to me, this is my number. Girl. Yeah, you girl. The one that can stand to lose a couple pounds. You have no class. Moving along.
This with Christine Walmsley. This is an actual real text she received from Ashley Cole. But my question about it is, where
You're
are
right,
the
Crystal.
condolences?
Queen Crystal.
It just is very odd.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is your son is on an interview saying this is his best friend. She doesn't have your number. This is the first time you guys are speaking. I know with my kids, friends, best friends, I know their parents. I have their phone numbers because we have to set up play dates, or we have to say, hey, I want to invite you to a birthday party. We're doing this whoop-de-woo, whatever it is. But I just find it so cold and callous that she said, if or when you ever want to talk to me, this is my number. What does that mean, if or when? Why is there an if? Why would
it's like whatever. That's pretty much what she's saying,
and
whatever.
Do you think it's appropriate the day after she finds out that her son is gone forever? Like, you don't start this text off with saying, whatever you need, we're here for you. I'm so sorry. We are devastated. Whatever you need, I will throw every resource behind it to help you out to get justice for your son and get to the bottom of this. There's nothing of that. There's no sending our love.
Judge Ashley, you feel because you're a judge and you white, you don't have to come down any levels to that woman that's married to a black man that's so chocolate. You don't have to. You don't give a F-U-C-K. That's pretty much you were saying. Moving along.
Our prayers, our thoughts, there's nothing. This is the most cold and I don't know. I would be disgusted if somebody sent me this message. It was on July 7th, Tuesday at 9 o'clock p.m. and literally less than 24 hours before she just found out her son was gone. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
Listen to the beginning again. I want y'all to hear it from the beginning again.
Secret Service Sam here for Nolan Xavier Wells update. And here's something that just keeps sticking out to me, all right? There is a text that Ashley Cole sent Christine Walmsley on July 7th, okay? And this is a day after her son, Nolan Wells, was found. And she says this, Christine, this is Ashley Cole. If or when you ever want to talk to me, This is my number. Now, Officer Ray.
So that pretty much to me is saying, I'm more concerned about my white privilege than your DEAD son. Nick Bob's 2205 says, geez, are you... Moving along. I'm not entertaining a fool. Yes, they said check his chest, Chris. That's what they said, baby. I was trying to read another message I saw, but this thing moves so fast. Okay, Queen Crystal Bush says Ashley sent that text just so she could say that she reached out to them. You're right. We have the same thought. It was really a self-serving, controlling act. You're right. She was only pretending to care. Just a big act. Thank you, Queen Crystal Bush. One moment. Seasoned Troll says that was her son's best friend. What do you mean? She doesn't own her anything. You heartless too. You are very heartless. I hope your friends don't depend on you. Queen Crystal Bush says Ashley Cole is arrogant and insensitive. Definitely. Remember in her initial Facebook post, she mentioned that they went to school as if they were friends. Then she asked to meet with Christine and Crump. See, she thinks because she's a judge and white is right, that she can pick their brains, that she'll be able to pick Ben Crump's brain and Christine's brain. See, Ben Crump, he's just country, but he's educated. He didn't get this far and have his own law firm. Yes, he talks, because I'm going to tell you what it is. It has to do with aging, because if I'm 52, he's much older than me. But he's in great shape to be as old as he is. It has to do with aging. The man is not getting any sleep. He's working so many cases. He is not dumb. You don't become an attorney, and it's much harder when black people trying to become attorneys. So imagine way back then, because he's much older than me, and I'm in my 50s, him trying to become an attorney. They didn't make it easy for black people. There's no F and DUI when you're trying to become an attorney. Y'all need to stop the SHIT. That man got plenty of sense. He just wore out, and he's getting older. So when he talks, he's drained. When I'm very exhausted, I stumble over my words because I have a lot going on I'm trying to do. I'm doing it myself. I don't have any government assistance. So I be tired. So I stumble on my words. When you're trying to do so much, even though he has people that work under him, he still has to make sure that things flow properly. So Ashley thinks because she's a judge and white is right, that she can actually pick Ben Crump's brain, and he don't know what's happening. That she can actually pick Christine's brain, and she won't know what's happening. See, I worked on jobs with those type of people. I worked on TV sets with those type of people. I know them very well, but I love them anyway, because you can't get to heaven hating, and you definitely can't think you'll make it in this world with just your own. No, you got to have the rainbow because God made a rainbow. Ashley, yes, you're a judge, but we don't know exactly how you got there. So I'm sure you went to school, got all the education and everything. But your eyes in Mississippi, white is right. So you could have got pushed further along in your career because white is right. Ben Crump didn't get pushed further along because white is right. One moment. If Nolan Wells was a white man, he would be handled much differently. Take a listen to this point of view.
If he had been a blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid like my own son, would we be picking apart what he did before he...
Hold on.
If he had been a blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid like my own son, would we be picking apart what he did before he disappeared? Or would we be demanding answers from the people who were with him right before he died? White people, we must do better than this. It's amazing how quickly some victims are questioned, while others are immediately met with compassion. Nolan deserves the dignity we extend without hesitation to white victims. His family deserves answers, and until those answers come, maybe we should spend less time trying to explain him away and more time asking the questions we would of any other child. Empathy shouldn't depend on race, and neither should our demand for answers. Justice begins with asking the same questions for every child, no matter what their skin color. If he had been a blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid like my own
This
son,
queen, she's
would
beautiful
we be
too.
picking
Very
apart
natural
what
makeup.
he did before he
Gorgeous
disappeared?
hair.
Or would
She's
we be
right.
demanding answers?
If he was blonde hair, blue eyes, it would have been handled differently. That would have been an arrest by now. Because white is right in the eyes of Mississippi. Again, Black people, until we get justice for Nolan Wells, do not shop at any white businesses in Mississippi. Ocean Springs should not get not one red cent of yours. Not one white business should get your money. Not one. Sacrifice. You can lose a couple pounds. It ain't going to hurt you. Sacrifice. Your ancestors did it. Sacrifice. Moving along.
A chef from Turkey once taught me, if you place the ground meat on an egg carton and chill it for about an hour.
Hold on.
While that chills, spread thinly sliced.
Here we go. Just a moment, you guys.
If 3 Black people took a white man on a boat expedition and didn't return with him, the president would be making a speech right now. There is a double standard of justice and coverage. And here's why Kevin discusses in a great post about the national news's silence on Nolan Wells. If you Google Nolan Wells New York Times, there is
And I did
Nolan
it.
Wells MSNBC. Nope, they haven't written one. By CNN, all that they have is a TikTok-style video, no written article. And the Washington Post finally has an article only after his body was found. Here's why Kevin references a study that found while Black people make up roughly 35% of missing persons cases in the FBI database at the time of the study, they received only 7 to 11% of media coverage. This is why local news outlets like the Mississippi Free Press that's been reporting on this are so important, and why it's so dangerous that news has been consolidating into these big billionaire-owned corporations, forcing lots of local outlets recently to keep shutting down. You can find the GoFundMe of Nolan's family at the Schwink and My Schmile. And one of the most important things is that families will tell you what they need. Sometimes that's privacy, spreading the word, financial support. We don't want to assume, we want to let them tell us how to help. His mother's request a couple days ago was if you have any pictures or videos that were taken on the northwest tip of Horn Island on July 4th, to reach out to her. This is her Threads account, and you can provide evidence to help their investigation. If 3 Black people took a white man on a boat expedition and didn't return with him, the president would be making a speech right now. There is a
And you know it. You know it's true. That rotten orange on Pennsylvania Avenue that wears a diaper, he would have said something. But because Nolan Wells and those other 2 men are Black men, nothing is getting done. One moment, please. Black America is under attack.
Of justice and coverage.
And
here's why Kevin discusses. Black America is under attack. Whether you want to believe it or not, they're under attack. And it's shown to you every day in some kind of way. The Voting Rights Act. Someone opened fire on a Black family reunion. A cross was burned in 2026 in Chicago. A kid was shot in the back after being hunted down because they thought that he stole a water bottle. His murderer was set free. A 1-year-old was killed yesterday because they thought that his mother stole a pack of diapers, which she had a receipt for. A young man was sent to jail for 30 years for self-defense. And before you say anything about it, you said Kyle Rittenhouse was defending himself when he crossed state lines with an AR-15 and unalived 2 people who were unarmed. He got off
Obviously, this video is not going to get very many views or likes because it's not filled with racial hate. The amount of rage bait on this app needs to be studied, just like your empathy levels need to be studied. I have seen so much racial, disgusting crap on this app. It is sickening. It's every fucking
Black
day.
people are not safe
So,
in this
if you're
country,
ever wondering,
and we're not leaving because some of us was already here before the fake Christopher Columbus got here. A man that was a rapist. So when y'all put that in my chat, you sound stupid because your people are from Europe. They're not from here. You go back to Europe. One moment. Is Mississippi prosecutor making a huge mistake? Take a listen.
what breaks my soul about what
The Nolan Wells case, let me tell you, as a former head county prosecutor and a former assistant
He's a
prosecutor, that did
prosecutor,
homicide
retired
work, where I think
prosecutor.
the prosecutor, Angel Myers McGrath, is making a huge mistake. So, look, everyone's going crazy here. I disagree with her approach to media relations and educating the public. Now, I get when she said that she was protecting the integrity of the investigation. I've done that myself. But
is that DA in Mississippi protecting the integrity of the case, or is she protecting the white privilege in Mississippi? Inquiring minds want to know. Take a listen.
I had very strong relationships with the minority community. And when we had police involved, minority shootings, they were first people that I met with and gave me the distance and breathing room to conduct the investigation without any fanfare, people in front of the cameras, marching in the streets, etc. That obviously that trust has not been established in, from what I'm seeing in the comments and the millions of views that I'm getting on my videos, a great degree of distrust in Mississippi. And you have to address that as a public official. It's a very real thing. Whether it's truthful or not, you need to address it. So here's my thing. You're not compromising an investigation by getting up and combating misinformation in the public, number one. How many search warrants have been issued? I wrote a list here.
Not one.
What electronic data has been done? What communication data warrants have gone out? How many? I'm not asking you for what and what you're looking for, but just give us an idea of what you're doing that way. Have you gone to the courts for those search warrants? How many witness interviews have occurred? How many tips and leads have you received? Because I'm going to imagine it's been an amazing amount, and the public doesn't know that. You have to run all those leads down. What experts have been called?
I'm going to read this comment before it gets away. Queen Crystal Bush says that the DA is protecting the privacy of the cover-up. Woo! Ric Flair. Woo! You ain't never lied, girl. I think the same thing, baby. Yes, I do, Queen. Yes, I do. Protecting that white privilege in Ocean Springs. Let's move along.
In maybe what area? Is it forensics, toxicology, audio, video? These would all be important things. You're not giving away any information by telling the public what it is you're doing that way. How many photos and videos have you had to review? Because I imagine people are submitting stuff all over the place, and it takes a lot of time to go through that digital
This is a
record,
former
if there's anything of evidentiary value. How about satellite imagery or any other cooperating agencies, and who are they? That may be useful. Now, you're really being serious. You're bringing in other law enforcement agencies. How many law enforcement assets are you have out there? How many people? How many man hours? You need to do a press conference at the end of all this and lay it all out. While the grand jury is a secret proceeding, and I get that people aren't entitled to that because it protects the innocent, and that's what a grand jury is supposed to do and be secret. Doesn't mean
now he just said she could be holding everything for the grand jury because it protects the innocent, but who does she think is innocent? Because remember, I let you listen to a recording yesterday, and it was stated by another prosecutor that the grand jury usually goes by what the prosecutor says and go in the direction that the prosecutor want them to go in. And in Mississippi, the grand jury is what? All white. That's not safe for Black people. One moment.
Press conference. I did it in high-profile, racially involved cases where I went out and said, here's a 2-hour press conference to tell you everything we did, how we did it, and why we came to the conclusion.
Thank you for blessing me, Gregory.
Well, before that, Madam District Attorney, I would get out there and make sure you're with the community and letting the community leaders know so they can support you that you're doing the right thing. Right now, we're all out here and we just don't know. It looks like nothing's going on. I know that's not true. Correct the record. Like, share, and follow for more.
I appreciate him. Let me see. What is his name? I don't even know how. Urban something. She Esquire. I can't pronounce his name. I'm honest with mine. If I don't know how to pronounce it, I'll tell you the truth. But I like this guy because he's a former prosecutor and he's giving us facts. And he was like, it's something she can tell, but she's deciding not to do it. Thank you, King Gregory. I love you. She's deciding not to. I smell a cover up. I'm just being honest. I see white is right is being protected. White privilege. Blacks are being hung all over this country. One moment, please.
Black people are being lynched all around the country right now. They are being found hanging from trees in public spaces. They're also going missing. They're also being murdered in lots of other ways as well. And I can assure you there is no debate here. No debate whatsoever. Black people do not hang themselves from trees in public. That is not a debate. That is not the world we live in.
That's a fact.
Don't even try. Now, instead of giving high-level details about all of the people and all of the situations, I recommend, honestly, just leave this video if you feel like it and go to Black creators that are talking about it. They're going to have way better insight on this situation than I am. However, there are things that I can talk about as a white human being on the internet, and that's the privilege that I have when I walk into a room or I enter a situation that Black people simply don't have. And I can use that privilege to support the Black community, and so can you. So if you look like me, let's have a conversation real quick. When I walk into an establishment, I am not immediately judged as somebody who is lesser than, who is going to steal, who is going to harm somebody, who is probably carrying a weapon. That doesn't typically happen, but that does happen with Black people. So I have that privilege of walking into somewhere and people not immediately seeing me as a threat. And when I see somebody assuming a Black person is a threat, I have the ability to physically put myself in that situation in between the two to either de-escalate it or to push that focus onto me rather than them. This can happen in a situation where a police officer is involved and that police officer is kind of being weird, kind of looking at people weird. This can happen in a situation where there are microaggressions, where there's racism, where an establishment is just like, people are following Black people around the grocery store, whatever it is. There's lots of situations that pop up every single day. The second you walk outside, it'll probably happen. You have the ability to physically put yourself in that situation and to, again, either de-escalate or have the escalation moved towards you. The focus is now on you, the person who is probably not going to get harmed or go to jail or get shot dead because they decided to have a confrontation. That situation is a hard reality for Black people all around the country, all around the world. White supremacy is getting worse and worse. And what I mean by that, it's already existed. It's existed for forever. But the openness of white supremacy and racism is astronomically bad right now. And if you have any heart, if you are white and you have the ability to stand up for the Black community, you better fucking do it, because white supremacy is going to keep getting worse. Black people are being...
I agree with her. Our white brothers and sisters should stand up for us, because let me tell you about being Black. We are protective of our white friends. Let's say it's me and a couple of my Black friends, and my white friend come with us. And all of a sudden, two of them are mad with her. I'm not going to let them jump her. That's just not how we do it. We're not going to you my friend for years, but you're just not going to jump her. Now, let's say that my white friend, hits one of them, they got a right to hit her back. Now, I'm going to tell you, they got a right to hit her back. But if she's not bothering them, my white friend is not bothering them, y'all not effing with her. We're going to do right. And that's how my people are. I can speak for my people. Black America is under attack. Did I show this already? Oh, I showed this already. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. Oh, I went back. I scrolled back up. I shouldn't have done that. Hold on one moment. Make sure I don't show the same thing again. Didn't even realize I did that. Let me see what this is.
Nolan Wells was a child, and because he was 18, that technically makes him an adult. In the eyes of the law, which was created by white men to protect other white men, he's now being called an adult who made his choices because he was heavily drinking, according to his friends who were there with him. And this is a very intentional thing that
What's so effed up from the beginning? Nolan Wells supposed to be friends, which were his foes, in my opinion, frenemies. They wasn't saying that he was drinking and doing drugs first. One of Nolan Wells' coach said he ran into Nolan Wells at Horn Island and that Nolan was not drunk. Remember that.
the media is now doing as they victim blame a child who is dead. I have an ongoing media literacy series, and this could be a part of it, but this is way too important, and I don't want to turn this into like some fun social media episode. So I'm going to speak very bluntly about this. They are now calling him an adult. Meanwhile, his friends, who are not his friends at all, as they have already been caught in multiple lies, as we've heard this audio leak, are being called kids or teenagers. This is an intentional tactic that the court of law ultimately is hoping the media uses as they amplify the story finally, because then it allows them to sound like kids while the young person who is dead
that is a strategy that white people do all the time. They can have somebody that's 25. My kid is under attack, and that kid has unalived this black person. I'm giving you an example. They always, the white race will label their grown children, my kid. Donald Trump would say, oh, that's just a young kid whenever a white person commits crimes. Listen carefully what this beautiful young man is saying.
Continuing to be called an adult, which makes him sound more like a man. I really hope more people look at these nuances as we continue to break down media literacy and social media literacy, because everything is strategic. From the bottom of my heart, I hope his family gets justice. Nolan Wells was a child, and because he was...
Let's continue to keep Nolan Wells' loved ones in our prayers, and we pray that they get justice. One moment. Listen to this. This I really want y'all to listen to, because this is what a lot of white people are doing, and it's getting black people in trouble, and they're not the ones committing the crime. Hold on.
Sales mask.
So here we have it.
What the heck? Hold on, y'all. What the hell?
So here we
Hold
have
on,
it.
y'all. What happened to my video? Hold on.
Sales mask. So that
this is
white
true.
People can impersonate a black person to do whatever. Here it is. Want to be the center of attention?
I saw these on TikTok and YouTube.
It's super stretchy, breathable, and creates a hilarious optical illusion. Perfect for your next costume party or cosplay event.
That's playing music.
Did you see these masks are also sold on TikTok Shop? And you're seeing how this guy right here is displaying this mask by impersonating a black person. So this person can probably say somebody, rob a bank, do something heinous. The only thing you have to do is wear
And this has happened already.
And guess who the person that the victim's gonna say? It was a black person.
Content don't even gotta be good.
Sells mask so that white people can impersonate a black person.
Now, I'm going to tell you, that is some racist shit. You got hate in your heart that bad that you will create masks of black people and white people wear the mask and go out and commit crimes. They're getting the faces from somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised. They're just going on social media getting black people faces. Not concerned about you're gonna mess up somebody's life because you're using their image to go do your white collar crimes and white crimes. Because for some reason, a lot of white collar people, they of the white race, they like to pedo, they like to rape. Not saying that black men don't do it, because some of them do. But the point I'm making is you'll go out and do the crime, but you're not even using your image. You're using a black person's image. That is some serious and dangerous hate in your heart. One moment. That is part of black people under attack. Nolan, unalive, has never been seen as an accident. Again, Nolan Wells, unalive, has never been seen as an accident.
Wells' death was an accident. First,
hold on.
And at no point in time did it ever seem like Nolan Wells' death was an accident. First, when he disappeared, when they said he didn't make it back to shore, but all of his white friends didn't seem like it was an accident. When those boys immediately got home, deleted all of their social media, I'm talking about scrubbed everything from the internet, even their pages, it didn't seem like an accident. When they lawyered up before they even found his body, it didn't seem like an accident. And then when his body finally mysteriously washed up on shore, it did not seem like an accident. It never seemed like it was an accident.
Hi, Billy.
And I'm saying that because
Hello,
I've seen Nancy Grace do an interview with a woman who was able to get the audio and basically scrub all the bad stuff out so we can hear what they were saying. And Nancy said something to the effect of, well, up until that point, I have seen your video talking to the lady. It seemed like his death could have been an accident. Nancy, no, it didn't. It's like, I mess with you, Nancy. I mess with you. But it has never seemed like Nolan Wells' death was an accident. This is when people's biases really start to poke out and show. Because once again, if Nolan Wells was white and his friends were black, nobody would have initially thought it was an accident. Nobody in the black community ever thought it was an accident. Just thought I would say that. And at no point in time did it ever seem.
Definitely wasn't an accident. Somebody did something to Nolan Wells. I believe it was more than one person.
Nancy Grace had her producers go and isolate the sound on the sea-tow call that took place between Warren and the sea-tow company. And they weren't asking, could they cover it up? They asked, should we cover him up? You can clearly hear, should we cover him up? You can clearly hear them say, Nolan is dead. It is crystal clear. This is disgusting. This is disgusting.
Yes,
anyone that's defending this, you're a disgusting person. You're a terrible human being. This boy didn't do anything wrong to deserve to die in this matter. And if you let these boys cover this up,
yes, I believe they all got together to hurt him.
Don't have mercy on your soul. Again, this is all alleged, because you know how you white people like to sue people.
Yep. Nola's mom speaks about grief. Take a listen. What do I specialize in? Trauma, grief, and loss. Nolan's mom speaks about grief.
This grief, I said it before in the previous video, this grief is just different. I miss my baby. I miss seeing his smile. I miss his hugs. I miss hearing him say, I love you, Mom. I just miss all of those things. I miss him coming into her room and laying across the bed and just talking about his day, updating us on everything. And I know that we will not have that again. I will not be able to hear those words. I will not be able to put my arms around him. Like, I know that. And we're just trying to make it through. And we've had so much love from everyone. But we've also had a lot of hate. We got you, baby.
We got you, Christine.
Love them while you got them. Because some parents out here that'll never see.
Nola's mom speaks on this grief that she's experiencing. She is grieving, and to lose your child, oh my God. Oh my God. I wouldn't tell y'all what's exactly in my head, what I would do. I won't tell. Uncle Tom, Lapdog Tatum, your words make absolutely no sense. Take a listen to this Lapdog Tatum. He just said, eyes, master. Yes, sir, master. Hold on.
Tristan had nothing to Tristan had nothing to do with this. Tristan wasn't even on any of the boats. Brandon, Tristan had nothing to do with this. Tristan wasn't even on any of the boats. Everything else Tristan said is not true.
Tristan should have kept his D suckers closed.
Tristan said is not true. I mean, this is just me observing this. I don't know. Trace could be lying. I don't know. Trace could be lying. Oh, they could be lying. I don't know neither one of these people. Tristan had nothing.
That's the thing. Tatum said he doesn't know any of those young men. But you've been going to battle for them. He has. Especially Warren. Yes, sir, Master Warren.
Tristan wasn't even on any of the boats. Tristan wasn't even in any of the pictures. Tristan is not even being accused of killing Nolan. Tristan is not even really involved.
Hold on right there, Officer Tatum. That's what we've been saying this whole time. Jason has nothing to do with the situation. Doesn't it seem odd somebody that admittedly just met him and now is claiming to be best friends is coming and trying to sideline this whole investigation? And what did you do? You platformed him and put his story out there while you were downplaying and aggressively arguing against other people's opinions of the case. I mean, that's just shill behavior. That's just crazy. And then to say out your own mouth that, I don't know, he could be lying, I don't know. But you platformed him and championed his story and try to downplay everybody's story as we all navigate through this whole investigation and this whole process. This is why I'm not seeing eye to eye with Officer Tatum. It's just, what is the motive for this kind of behavior? It could only be one thing. You grabbed up any little person that knew Nolan and threw a story at you. Not only did you platform his story, you were downing everybody else, trying to make your narrative the main narrative for this whole situation. And that is just malicious. That's just how I feel about it. Then you come on your own platform a week later and say, oh, I don't know.
He would never make judge, baby.
Carry it like that the week before. And also, you're saying, oh, he has nothing to do with this. He's not being accused. Doesn't that strike you as odd that a case this big, a case this controversial, one of the main independent outlets to carry this story being your platform, just jumps on a kid's story just because he knew Nolan and then try to champion his story as the main narrative? Then you got sponsors and everybody behind you that's helping you push this narrative. It just stinks. The whole thing just stinks. And we on it, y'all. We on this guy right here. Best believe there are agents sent in our community that's trained to assimilate, distract, detract.
Tatum is an agent that's trained to distract. He's dangerous, in my opinion, to the Black race. It was intentional what happened to Nolan Wells. Destiny swapping. You wouldn't choose a lackey. Nolan wasn't a lackey. Nolan was everything a mother would want in a son. He was everything those young white women desired. He was everything a coach praised and would have elevated this young man to the NFL starter. Nolan wore a red necklace. It was a ritual, in my opinion. Warren later at Horn Island wore a red necklace as well. Was Nolan a mark? If you go back and look at this photo, hold on. Warren leaning on Nolan's leg. I think this is Warren because I think this is him. Hold on. Give me a moment. Look. Warren is leaning on Nolan's leg. Why would a man have his arm and hand so close between another man's leg like that? If he's straight, that's just my opinion. Could Warren admire Nolan so much? He may not have acted on it that he actually liked him. Could he? Because why do you have your arm in between his? I've been out there. Why do you? When I first saw this photo, I thought that. I pay attention to men interacting with each other, and women need to do that so they can pay attention to what's going on with their men. But I paid attention. Why does he have his arm and hand down on between his leg like that? I don't like that. Something wasn't quite right about that to me. Hold on. Just a moment. Like I stated, Nolan, you saw in the photo, Nolan first had the red necklace on. Later at Horn Island, Warren was wearing the red necklace. Was Nolan Wells a mark? Take a good listen. Take a good listen to this queen who makes valuable points, okay? Just a moment.
Yo, what's up? I actually came on here today because I want to talk to you about something that I don't understand why none of us, I say us, because it's been on my mind, it's been on my heart.
I'm going to answer this question right quick, then we're going to rewind this audio. Killen 28 says, why didn't Nolan think they were racist and hung out with them? I'm going to tell you something about being black. Sometimes you can sense somebody's racist, but you hoping and praying that they're not racist. And you want to believe in your heart that all people have good in them. That's why. One moment.
Yo, what's up? I actually came on here today because I want to talk to you about something that I don't understand why none of us, I say us, because it's been on my mind, it's been on my heart. I even woke up with it this morning. That's why I knew I had to post it, because no one else is talking about the one little thing that could actually be very detrimental. And the only reason why I now am starting to consider it actually 100% detrimental is because now when I go to find it, thank God I screenshotted it, when I go to find it, it's gone. Let me tell you. So on that beautiful day of July 4th, 2026, when Nolan Wells sailed the ocean seas with his friends, and all the stuff that you guys see, please pay attention to J. Megan. She will break it down to you from beginning to end exactly what's happening. There's a couple psychics out here that are right on point. But let's talk about something a little bit deeper of what's happening now. This is not a situation where two boys got into a fight and they accidentally unalived someone. This is not a situation where someone got really, really tipsy and accidentally unalived themselves. Okay? I am willing to bet, allegedly of course, with everything that I'm watching and all the pictures that I'm watching being scrubbed and the way J. Megan's page is being scrubbed, and the things that they're blocking out tells me every time the truth. It is so interesting if you watch Warren in his interview talking about Katie and how everyone's talking about that now. Before she was just a stranger, now she's the homie. Now Jay Megan, she ties them all together. She's placed Katie on their boat several times in different time frames with her turquoise little bathing suit and her best friend. Okay? Let me tell you something. Since I was a child, I am a natural born sociologist. I went on to the University of Colorado and got my sociology degree. I am a pattern recognition kind of person. Since I was little, it saved me. Me watching how others work, move, act, and behave saved me several times from being unalived. I'll just tell you that. I was an orphan. I'm mixed. There's a lot of things that go into my adoption. Let's not go there. It's not that time. But one thing I do well is matching games. Where's Waldo? If you're my generation, Highlights magazine, because I'll find the object. So what I love about Jay Megan is that she always finds the details. She does wonderful, like phenomenal research on everything and anything that you would want to know about JE files, about things that go on in our government, and right now with Nolan. And that's what I like about her. She likes to Zoom. She likes to analyze the recordings, the audios. She has found all three boats.
I'm going to stop this audio for a moment, interact with you all. Crystal Bush says he was naive. This is about Nolan. He was naive, unfortunately, kind-hearted and welcoming, while not realizing that the feeling wasn't mutual. Some people smile with malice intentions. Amen. Pillin 28 says, hold on, the screen is moving. Hold on. No, if the internet detective made it about finding the truth, it would not be covered up, but it is. Pillon 28 says the problem is the internet or whoever made it a race-specific thing. It is about race. You may not want to accept it, but it is. Nolan Wells, a Black person. Everybody else white returned home to their families, but that Black young man did not. It's about race. Accept it. Okay?
Names were where everyone else is in La Land. But let me tell you something. The red necklace. Why is no one talking about the red necklace? Now, let me tell you. Do you think it's interesting that every picture Nolan took that day, he had a red necklace on? Correct?
I showed y'all the picture. Nolan had the red necklace on.
What I find to be interesting is when I went back to look and see and validate what I'm about to tell you, it is gone completely. So I'm actually really glad I took some screenshots when it first came out, because
me too. I'm glad I had the picture already.
Jay Megan tried to post them, they are gone. But the timestamp of the videos that I'm about to talk about are an hour and a half after anyone has ever seen Nolan again, supposedly.
Sleepy.
Right? So that good hour and a half when they're boating around and dropping things off and doing whatever. Mm-hmm. So let me put it all together for you. It allegedly,
she's gonna put a bow on it right quick.
What I think is going on here. If you watch my own videos, you know that I know that this is deeper than it sounds. You know that I know that it's planned. You know that I know that it was premeditated. You also know that I know that you had to pick a specific man because you could not choose any of those little wannabes out there.
No.
Javon was not going to get...
When you're going to do a ritual and you're destiny swapping, you're not going to pick a Javon. I'm sorry. He's not a non-attractive young man. He's not tall and handsome with a nice body. He's not a football soon-to-be star. Nolan had qualities when people destiny swap that they will want from somebody else. So That's why Nolan Wells was chosen. And the red necklace tells a lot. Hold on.
Get the same kind of coverage that this football. Excuse me, my phone overheated, so
One
it's
moment,
hot up in
y'all.
this
I'm under
bitch,
the
okay?
vent and my nose
And my state's not used to this. We're already at 100 degrees and it's 12:30 in the afternoon. Side note. Okay, back to the story. Pattern recognition. Pay attention. I tried to look at pics after pics to see if beads were being thrown, if everyone was wearing necklaces. So pay attention to Nolan's red bead necklace.
And everyone was not. Nolan had the red necklace.
And then about an hour and a half after they've done all the little drops in their toes and their calls and getting their alibis and all that good stuff together, on the way back, there's some pictures that are being taken. I don't know if it's from Katie's phone or it's after they got back, but it's at 5:30 in the evening. And someone else has Nolan's necklace on.
Warren now has on the red necklace.
And it's about the third time I've seen
He didn't have a red necklace on in the photo. I'm going to go back and show you the photo after the video.
The red necklace.
Warren in the red necklace.
Nolan was wearing all day. The reason why I bring that up is when Jay Megan talks about.
Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll go back to that photo that I showed you just previously before I actually started with the video. Warren does not have on a red necklace. He has on a white necklace. Rituals are serious. One moment. Give me a moment, everybody.
About the boats and trying to get the details of the boats so we can see who actually owns these boats, because obviously they're keeping everything hush hush, and obviously there's no investigation. No one's going to ask, right? And they're not asking because they all own each other, right? So Grandpa is next door to these boats when that argument goes down, and he's watching. Supposedly, this is allegedly. We don't know for sure it's him, but this boat that's right next door.
It was an older man on that boat. On that other boat.
How many times did you guys have to hear a video at Horn Island on July 4th about a phone? A fight about a phone, and all of a sudden this whole little case came out open about a phone. Couldn't find the phone. It was at this house. Someone else drew it to this house. Oh, I don't have it. Yes, you do have it. Blah blah. Now all the messages and Instagram things and Snapchats are all deleted. Come on, everything's about a phone. But even the one fight that went viral was about a phone. Give me back my phone. Give me back my phone. I know you guys all heard it. Let's not act like it was distorted. Okay, so side note. Let's go back to the boat that Grandpa's on. There's a specific kind of seat that the boat is on. I'm going to have you guys go look at her page because I don't got time for all that. She's amazing. And I am just letting you know detail-wise. On that seat, and I don't know if TikTok's doing this on purpose or just my spirit because things just come to me, but like on the seat, she can't figure out what this red object is on this seat. And I do think it's interesting that yes, at one point, there's like a balloon arch on this boat that Grandpa's on watching this fight, okay? So, again, I'm saying that over and over again because everybody's present. Let's not get it twisted. So, there's a red object. I believe, and I think I screenshotted it. If not, we're going to go look at Jay Megan's. I believe the red object is a cloak. A red cloak. A red jacket. You know what I mean? A red jacket. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? For some reason, I don't know
when she's saying red jacket, she's talking about how they wore the white sheets, white hoodies. Well, it's called a red jacket. Could it be the leader of the clans in Mississippi? One of their leaders? Hold on.
Keep showing me these videos of
Nolan was a mark in my opinion.
But these rituals and these satanic rituals that these underground crazies be doing, these elites be doing, they're in red coats. This red coat is draped over this thing. Okay? Back to Nolan. What if? This is a what if, you guys. Don't come for me. Oh, well, they know that he really just drowned. You're just really drawing from nothing. You're saying a whole lot of nothing. Okay, got it. Cool. I'm doing this on my own. What if I looked as many videos and pictures as I could see, and nobody was wearing necklaces that day? The one in the picture, someone's wearing a white one, and the other one's wearing a black one.
Mm-hmm.
What if Nolan was the target, red target, his necklace, Everybody knew it. And then what better way to celebrate as when you went to go hide that body for the rest of the day so you can go enjoy the rest of your day as a woman has no clue that her child is gone? You come back.
I'm gonna tell you something. I think I'm gonna play it next if I'm not mistaken, but it was said that later that day, either the next day, that Warren's grandfather said that Warren got the biggest fish ever, and he hit it in the back of the head. He ended up removing that post. Think about that. It has been alleged that happened. I think I got somebody speaking on it in just a moment. One moment.
And on camera, Warren is wearing the red necklace. And guess what? Warren's an angry person. He's a hateful person. He's smiling in every single one of these pictures.
With the red necklace smiling.
And then I went to go look at the pictures now. Gone.
Nolan wore the red necklace first.
Gone. Why would they erase these videos of them coming back to Warren Island and they're all having a great time? And I mean extra happy. Like he caught the biggest fish.
People get sworn into the red hat crew all the time.
Grandpa posts on Facebook the next day. Guess
the white
what?
hoodie crew.
My son and his friends caught the biggest fish of their life. He didn't say it like that, but he did.
Let me rewind that. Hold on, I want y'all to hear that.
Like he caught the biggest fish of his life. And then on camera, Warren is wearing the red necklace. And guess what? Warren's an angry person. He's a hateful person. He's smiling in every single one of these pictures. And then I went to go look at the pictures now. Gone. Gone. Why would they erase these videos of them coming back to Warren Island and they're all having a great time? And I mean extra happy. Like he caught the biggest fish of his life. And then Grandpa posts on Facebook the next day, guess what? My son and his friends caught the biggest fish of their life. He didn't say it like that, but he does say he had to hit it over the back of his head. That Facebook post was taken down. Something going on with this red necklace?
Ritual. It was a ritual, in my opinion. Let me tell you what I think too. I'm going to be honest with mine. I think when it's a ritual, those people out there in the water saw what happened. I do. I think that. Could all of them be a part of the white hoodie crew? Mississippi is known for it. Don't try to tell me differently. One moment. Now, instead of the white hoodies, they wear the red hats. While the leaders of the KKK, the leaders, they a lot of times, and they into satanic stuff, they wear red capes and hoodies. Hold on. Nancy Grace doesn't want a secret grand jury. She says, we want justice. I say, we want justice. Take a listen to Nancy Grace, the great Nancy Grace. Hold on.
We don't want secret grand jury proceedings. We don't want secret medical examiner reports. We want all threats investigated. We want the truth behind that audio. I want to know. And I want everybody on that boat polygraphed.
Amen.
We want answers. We want justice in this case. We don't want secret grand jury proceedings. We don't want secret medical examiner reports. We want all threats investigated. We want the truth behind that audio. I want to know. And I want everybody on that boat polygraphed.
Nancy, we want the same thing you want, Queen. I pray we get it. We may not get the polygraphs because Warren refused to do the other fake polygraph. Why, Warren? Why did you refuse to do what the others did, which it wasn't a real polygraph? But Nancy Grace even got in Tatum's ASS about that fake polygraph. Hold on, y'all. My phone going dead. Alan, let me know if you can hear me, please. Can you hear me? Queen Lynn Burden says Nancy would keep digging until she knows what happened. And that's what I love about her. She doesn't see color. She don't care to try to make anybody happy. She's all about what's right. She don't care to try to make me happy or you happy. It's about what's right. She don't care about white and black. It's about what's right. Thank you, Queen Lynn. Thank you, King Allen. Also, if you'd like to donate to my channel, my Cash App is in the chat. It has been pinned. You can send me Cash Apps. My aunt's photo is the picture that you're going to see. And you can send super chats or super stickers. If you're feeling jolly, you can send it. Also, you can send me gems. In my description is my PayPal and Venmo. So if you want to bless me that way, you can as well. Okay? Let's continue. Tristan is full of horse manure, and he's telling on those white men each time he opens his mouth. This little young man did not help Warren and the others when he was interviewed by Tatum. Take a listen. Hold on.
Alleged best friend just admitted, ladies and gentlemen, Nolan Wells' alleged best friend just admitted that Nolan Wells was murdered. Watch this.
How would you think he would address this or feel about this?
Well, I know people like these eternally. He would turn over in his grave.
Listen.
If Nolan could dig himself out of his grave right now, he would.
What?
No doubt.
But it gets worse. Watch what happens next.
Not a smart
Nolan would never want
kid.
anything pursued this way. I think he would be really upset with his parents about how they went about the situation.
He insulted Nolan's parents
I think he
too.
would want the truth and he would search for answers. I think he would want the truth and he would search for answers.
I think he would want the truth and search for answers. Think about this. If Nolan Wells drowned and he came back to life, what answers would Nolan Wells be searching for? This young man just admitted that Nolan Wells was murdered. Because why would Nolan Wells come back to life and search for answers? Because he, which is Nolan Wells, would have known exactly how he died if he drowned, because he would have been drowning like, oh shit, I'm about to die. So what answers would he be looking for if he drowned?
I'm going to pause this a moment. Gregory, is that comment to, you meant that for me? Gregory Couture, I5Y, did you mean that comment? I saw her on Planet of the Apes. Was that meant for me? Because I'm about to school you about your own white race. White people have a high percentage of Neanderthal. You have ape in you. But y'all love to call black people monkeys. We have 0.0004 in us. That's very little. You are more of an ape than I am. Research. But you're MAGA. You're too dumb. You don't want to read. Research. White people, look it up. You have Neanderthal in you, not me. No, mommy doesn't have it, baby. And I'm not giving you any breast milk. Go away. You want me to peg you? Go ask your wife to do it. Now send me a Cash App.
He got his ass. He just admitted that somebody, whoever that somebody is, murdered Nolan. Why would Nolan want to come back to life and look for answers if he just simply drowned? He was murdered. We got him.
And saying, yo, you're on the wrong path.
Listen to the wording, on the wrong path. Wouldn't he just come back to life and say, hey guys, my friends didn't murder me. I just drowned. This was my fault. So this guy is literally admitting that there was foul play because we're going down the wrong path. Going down the wrong path denotes wrongdoing. Denotes I did not do this to myself, which is I got drunk or I was on cocaine and
I know that's right, King Allen. In 4K.
Means somebody else did this to me.
Next time I won't use Vaseline.
Ocean Springs is going to have Ocean Springs back. Ocean Springs is going to have Ocean Springs back.
See, this young boy right here is so lost. He actually thinks he's white. he actually thinks he's one of the good old boys. They actually start thinking that they're one of them. They want to be white so bad where they actually think they're white. And I'm quite sure the same thing happened with the Brandon Tatum dude.
This is a sickness.
Brandon Tatum is an embarrassment. His wife can't be proud of him.
That's what I do.
All the white man had to do was call up his pet monkey, and he'll fly down to Mississippi and make all of the racial stuff.
Tatum is an embarrassment to the black race.
Think about this in the comments, and
Trayston did not help you, Warren. He was telling on you all. He wants to be part of the white race so bad because that other half of him, he wants to be so bad. It's not nothing wrong with wanting to be a part of your both sides of your family. But in the eyes of a white man in Mississippi, son, you black. You just not blue black. Because some mixed people come out very dark and some come out very light. You just happen to come out a little lighter. But you would never be considered a white man. And don't let them talk you into being a fall guy, because they're looking for a fall guy, trust me. If it has to be between Bart Simpson and Warren and one of those black boys, they're going to try to talk one of those black boys into being a fall guy. Some of them are stupid enough to do it. Not I. I would never be. So, Nolan's friends use symbolism to raise money. This is not a good sign. White privilege operates in code language. Listen carefully.
What is this? Welcome back to Media Literacy 101. This is a test for you. You are smart, so you're going to tell me in the comment section what this is really about. Now, I'm not saying they're guilty of anything, but I do find this picture to be very interesting. There's a bunch of dead fish being strung up by the specific body part that their friend has missing that would help explain what really happened to him. What type of people are attracted to Give, Send, Go? Who do you think?
Uh-oh, what happened? Hold on, y'all. Okay, it's coming back. Hold on.
What type of people are attracted to Give, Send, Go? Who do you think they're trying to reach with this specific picture? They have a law firm in Pennsylvania that the money will go to. Don't you think that a law firm would think to use a very strategic picture if they're receiving funds from this? Again, the entire point of this series is to remind you that everything is strategic when it comes to media, PR, and communicating digitally. So if you're new here, please hit that follow button so that you can stay updated in your critical thinking skills about what you see online and who you're following. And welcome to our love army. Much love, y'all. What is this?
Okay, I'm gonna pause this. Let me see if I can stretch it. Hold on. They have stringed up fish, and Warren's grandfather said that Warren caught the biggest fish. They got it on a string. Think about strangulation. They put it up close to their neck. This is the photo that law firm is using. What did I tell y'all about the KKK? Some of them are attorneys. Symbolism is real. Rituals are real. They must DNA test Nolan's neck, lungs, and brain because we can't trust their medical examiner nor the coroner. One moment. Just give it a moment to open up. They taught that, they would learn that from their parents. Those kids are not weird. They learned it from their parents and grandparents.
I had to pull over to make this, right? And we need more people saying this. The autopsy, Nolan's body parts, this, make sure y'all DNA testing it to make sure they send it.
They could have swapped it.
His parts. Make sure you DNA testing Nolan's throat and lungs. DNA test.
Repeat. Make sure y'all DNA testing
Yep.
the throat and the lungs. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying it. Make sure
all black people are already saying this because we cannot trust the medical examiner, the coroner, none of them, not the toxologist.
Make sure y'all DNA testing his throat and the lungs.
I'm going to read your comment. Pelon28 says, is that normal? It is normal. But in this case, where we have medical examiners have been known to lie about things that happen to black bodies that were unalive. They can't be trusted. A cover-up is happening right in front of our faces. But Nolan's throat should have been sent to D.C. How can he complete y'all know what I'm saying, autopsy without everything that he needed? What he really needed, they did not send. That was done on purpose. The white law in Mississippi did that on purpose. Did this happen to Nolan Wells and could have caused his unaliving? One moment. Hold on.
If a full Nelson or heavy neck crank is used, the back of the head receives the direct manual pushing force, which can cause occipital soft tissue discoloration, while the front of the throat suffers indirect trauma from the chin being crushed down into the chest.
Wow, like that sounds very brutal, very violent, and like it sounds like what happened, because that's why they kept all those parts. This explains everything to me. Now you just gotta figure out who. It's got to be real close to this if it ain't this.
That's true. Survive 2025.
Okay.
If a full Nelson or heavy neck crank is used, the back of the head receives the direct manual pushing force, which can cause occipital soft tissue discoloration, while the front of the throat suffers indirect trauma.
Okay. Bart Simpson, he's talking about suing as well. So I look at it like this. Bart Simpson, go sue Warren. He let your name slip from his lips. Oops. That's who you need to sue. While he was being interviewed by Coon Tatum, he let your name slip out. We didn't know anything about Bart. Remember that, y'all. We didn't know about Bart Simpson. Okay, listen to this.
From the chin being crushed
Just
down.
a moment.
Now, I will say this about Bart. Bart done went and gave 20 names to the investigators, because I'm assuming that he is trying to remove himself from the situation. However, Bart, listen, it's out there. Go sue your own friend, okay? Because, listen.
I'll take the boat. I'll take you and your friends, of course. I mean, he's a buddy of mine. And so Bart pulled up at the dock, and, I mean, I rode out there
Warren.
with the bar.
Now, again, your own friend Warren placed you on the boat. Your own friend said, which he stuttered and he thought about what he said and realized that he totally messed up.
You and your friends, of course. I mean, he's a buddy of mine. And so Bart pulled up at the dock, and, I mean, I rode out there with Bart.
So maybe you should have your attorney go sue Warren first before you try to sue everybody else. But I digress. You have a blessed day, sir, okay? Now,
That's right, Warren.
About Bart.
Bart sue Warren.
20 names to the investigators. Because I'm assuming.
But I still don't mean Bart Simpson isn't guilty.
Bart, listen, it's out there. Go sue your own friend, okay? Because, listen.
I'll take the boat, and I'll take you and your friends, of course. I mean, he's a buddy of mine. And so Bart pulled up at the dock, and, I mean, I rode out there with Bart.
Now, again, Your own friend Warren placed you.
Warren
on
put
the
your
boat.
name out there.
Your own friend said, which he stuttered and he thought about what he said and realized that he totally messed up.
You and your friends, of course. I mean, he's a buddy of mine. And so Bart pulled up at the dock, and I mean, I rode out there with Bart.
I rode out there with
maybe
Bart.
You
That's
should
what he
have your
said.
attorney go sue Warren first before you try
Tell
to sue
Mr.
everybody
Latino
else.
to
But I
sue
digress. You have a blessed
Warren.
day, sir, okay? Now, I will say this about Bart. Bart went and gave 20 names
Hold on.
to the investigators.
Oh, that one isn't available. Okay, it says not available.
Because I'm assuming that
Hold on, you guys.
Katie, girl, you had me fooled.
Me too.
I really thought that them receipts was really gonna help you.
I was
But you
fighting
was
for
all
Katie.
fooled. Girl, ain't this you? Hold on. But Katie, on that boat, girl, ain't this you too?
Katie had on that blue
Ain't that you and
swimsuit.
your friend girl when you was hugging the girl, hugging her? That's you and her on Bart's boat. And then this is you too, Katie, on that boat that them thugs allegedly gave to Rayson Tatum and said that was proof that it was the video when they were sinking, right? Same bathing suit, same hat. Girl, you've been lying to us. So it's you and old girl, the voice on that
Audio.
I'm gonna add Ben Crump and Miss Christine because you probably been lying to them too. I mean, we know there's a grown woman on there too, but girl, you lied. You lied. So which one you want to do? Do you want to be like?
I've been on here windmilling for you, Katie. I've been on my channel praising you, Katie, windmilling for you. I'm not gonna throw you out to the wolves just yet, okay? Did Bart Simpson destiny swipe with Nolan's? I gave y'all an example that it could have been Warren that destiny swap. Destiny swapping is real. Did Bart Simpson destiny swap with Nolan and unalive him full of rage and jealousy? Nolan had a promising career in football more than a point kicker. Did Mr. Bart Simpson feel he needed to be the only one out of that town who would be a star athlete?
Or do you want to?
Nolan Wells had a lot to look forward to come Monday morning after the 4th of July weekend. On July 6th, Nolan Wells was preparing to go back to Southwest Mississippi Community College to start training for the upcoming football season. If you're unaware of Nolan Wells' football legacy, you would probably be happy to know that he played 3 straight years on varsity for Ocean Springs High School, where he was a 2-time all-region wide receiver. Not to mention, he helped Ocean Springs High School get to the division title. He's going into his sophomore year, his second year playing football at Southwest Mississippi Community College in Summit, Mississippi. And then this happens on the 4th of July weekend. Why am I bringing this up? This kid was looking forward to Monday, getting back on that field, starting that training camp, getting to practice, and getting himself ready for football. That's what he had to look forward to. His life was football. That's what he had to look forward to. So to me, I don't really know if I believe that he was putting all these toxins into his body, knowing that in 48 hours, he was going to be going back onto the field to start training camp. And if you guys didn't know, I understand it's a community college, but if you guys didn't know, it's typically pretty damn hot in Mississippi. You need to have some pretty legitimate conditioning if you're going to play any kind of active and mobile sport in Mississippi. I just don't know if I believe he was going to put all this bad stuff in his system right before he's supposed to be going to football training camp. I just don't.
And I don't either, beautiful king. I don't believe it.
Nolan Wells had a lot
Hold
to
on.
look.
Be careful saying that they killed Nolan. They're going to sue you. They're suing everybody. Please sue me, because maybe then and only then you'll actually get to see the courtroom. Because in my head, I already know how you did it. I already know exactly how you ended Nolan's life, and I know exactly what you did to cover it up. Because nothing in this case, and I mean nothing, even to a mute, deaf, stupid person, makes sense. The fact that you just leave your friend, the fact that you just leave the island, all of a sudden social media just disappears of 3, 18, 19-year-old boys. With this, you eat, breathe, and live social media, because that is where the holes are for you. So you didn't just disappear. Your mommy and daddy told you, get everything turned off, take off social media, delete everything, so nobody can reach you, so nobody can suspect. And then Officer Tatum fed you some bullshit witchcraft. Oh, you were friends? You were like, shut the fuck up, Officer Tatum. You did them no favors. Sister. You actually make them look more guilty than they look before.
Yes,
if that's even
he made warn them look more guilty.
Bart did it. I'm pretty positive, allegedly, my opinion, Bart did it. Bart was jealous that that white girl liked Nolan, and then he was like, nah, bitch, you're not gonna have my girlfriend. Bout. That's how he did it. Be careful saying that they killed Nolan. They're gonna sue.
Could this be true? Why Nolan's autopsy has taken so long? Just a moment, beautiful kings and queens. Just a moment. I love this girl.
Miss Rachel finally making a comment about Nolan Wells and letting the world know that she's not going to put up with this shit, and saying that toxicology reports are delayed and autopsy is delayed, and it's because of the race. It's no other. The justice system reacts based upon the race. Because if this was a white child, we would have known toxicology reports. We would have known if it was foul. And I knew this was going to be undetermined death. But Miss Rachel, I just want you to know that you're not shedding followers. You're shedding racist, bigoted, Karen and Ken's pieces of shit, Christian fakers, okay? This woman has taught your children how to be kind and empathetic.
Miss Rachel.
She has been a babysitter to your kids while you needed to get your laundry and your socks put away, and probably even have a little bit of sexy time with your husband. And now you a racist piece of shit do not like the fact that she spoke up when she sees an injustice. I hope that all of you seething with fucking fire know that your kids are growing out of racism in real motherfucking time.
That part. I have some other stuff, but we got to get up out of here. How long we been on here? We've been on here for quite some time. I'll share this tomorrow. So, as we all know, Nolan Wells was traumatized. His mother and father are traumatized. All of the loved ones and friends are traumatized. The black community is traumatized. Some of my white sisters and brothers are traumatized as well. Trauma is not an emotional experience. They trigger profound physical. Trauma is not just an emotional experience. They trigger profound physical responses throughout your entire body. The brain interprets intense loss as a survival threat, which activates the fight or flight mechanism and causes a flood of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. You best believe his heart was beating fast. Trauma is a disruption to the body-mind's capacity to adapt, thrive, and flourish. Nolan Wells was adapting to the college life and learning more about football. He's no longer here to thrive. He was thriving. He's no longer here to flourish. He was flourishing in football. He was looking forward to Monday training for football. The thing with trauma, once it's over your body continues to relive it. I'm a living proof of it, okay? But that doesn't mean I'm not healed. And healing is a process. It's an everyday process. And this is a message for Nolan Wells' family. Grief and loss aren't punishment. They are a chance to grow, to heal, and become the strongest, most compassionate version of yourselves. Your story isn't over. Nolan Wells' story isn't over. It is evolving. We will continue to seek justice. It is evolving. Healing from traumatic grief is fundamentally different from anticipated loss because the trauma frequently needs to be addressed before the natural grieving process can progress. Nolan Wells' family needs transparency so that their grieving can process and show progress. Although his mom continued to do her TikToks, Instagram, and all that, she still does not have transparency. Understanding the intersection of these intense emotions is vital to managing the experience. She can truly be able to manage the experience and grieve properly once they have true transparency from the state of Mississippi, the DA, and answers from those young men, even from Judge Ashley Cole. But when something is minimized, they're minimizing her grief. They're minimizing Nolan Wells' entire family grief. But when something is minimized, it rarely gets the space it needs. They need a safe space. And what is acknowledged does not get processed. What is not acknowledged does not get processed. No transparency. They must grieve to heal. I am a wellness practitioner. I am also a grief counselor. I specialize in trauma, grief, and loss. I'm a grief and loss specialist. I am a trauma coach. I am a trauma-informed coach. If you ever feel that you would like to book a session with me, my information is in my description. Grief and loss. Acknowledge the loss. Create space for your feelings. They're not able to do that completely because there's no transparency from the racist white law in Mississippi. They need to create space for their feelings. Understand that grief is a lifelong journey. Know that there can be joy in life post-loss. You know the saying that old folks like to say, joy comes in the morning? There is joy after life post-loss. Nolan Wells is no longer here. I'm quite sure his mother will look at his belongings, his photos, and some warmth is going to come there, even though she's grieving. Joy still comes in the morning. So I'm going to let you all listen to this, and we're going to get out of here. But let me read some of your comments, and I'm going to play something for you because I need to bring y'all back to a safe space because the stuff I have told you tonight is very heavy. So, one moment. King Allen says Queen has a book and magazine as well. Thank you, King. This is my book, The Purple Cinderella, Surviving Multiple Childhood, RAPISTS. I experienced every form of abuse you can think of. Let me read the back description to you. This is my book, my autobiography. I am the Purple Cinderella. I got my glass slipper back at the beautiful age of 38. What led me to that moment was a life full of heartache and pain. I found myself at the point of suicide. Y'all know what I mean. In that pivotal moment, I got my glass slipper back, my life. I walked around dead inside for many years. My heart-wrenching childhood took me there. I was RAPED'd by my adult stepbrothers, some of my step-uncles, some of my adult step-cousins, and other men. They all stole a part of Cinderella's glass slipper. I became used to this childhood torture. I accepted the torture. I even fell in love with the torture. Not only was I made to lie on my back and service the pedophiles, my sister and I was slave labor for my step family as well, forced to scrub and clean like Cinderella. Heartache and pain continued through my adulthood. Bandages, crying inside. But at the pivotal moment of 38, God gave me life. Now I live. I got my glass slipper back. I wrote my book for my healing. I wrote my book to help others heal as well. Get your glass slipper back. Get your glass slide back. Whichever it is, baby. Purchase my book. I think you can get it online for Barnes and Nobles, but Amazon you can get it both in ebook and print. I think it's cheaper. Go to Amazon. It's cheaper than BarnesandNobles.com. Trust me. Amazon you can get it in ebook and paperback. The Purple Cinderella, and just type my name in, Arthur Lillie Young, and it'll come up. Okay, Alan mentioned about my magazine. This is my summer issue. My fall issue comes out fall day. But this is my summer issue. Summer 2026 Queen Magazine. That's why I call you all kings and queens, because that's who you are. Walk in it. So you can get my magazine. The link is in the description as well. The link to Amazon is in the description as well. If you like an autographed copy, just DM me. They have DM here on YouTube now. Direct message me, okay? So let's listen to something that's going to warm my spirit. And this is from Spirit Led. Anytime someone lay a lot of heavy stuff on you, they must bring you back to a safe space. Welcome to a safe space with Dr. Lillie. I got you. One moment. Just a moment. Hold on. I love this.
God is healing someone's heart watching this right now. And that someone is you. Say this out loud. God is healing every broken place in my heart. I'm not defined by what hurt me. I'm defined by what God is doing in me right now. The pain I've carried, God is lifting it off my shoulders. Every disappointment is becoming a divine appointment. What was meant to break me, God is using to build me. I am not my trauma.
Thank you, KCRSNA. Thank you.
I am healed. I am whole. I am loved. My heart is being restored right now. I feel peace replacing pain.
Thank you, Queen Lynn. I love you.
God is doing a new thing in my heart, and I receive it fully. The walls I built to protect myself, God is gently taking them down. I don't have to guard my heart alone anymore. God is my protector. God is my healer. God is my peace. Every cracked place in my heart is being filled with light. I forgive what I couldn't forgive before, and I'm free. The weight I've been carrying was never mine to hold. I release it. I let it go. I step into healing. My heart is not broken. My heart is under construction. And the one doing the work is the one who made me. I am not who I was yesterday. I am not who the world said I'd become. I am who God says I am, right now.
Yep.
Stay in peace. Stay in faith. Stay covered.
Stay in peace. Stay in faith. Stay covered. I will see you all later on today, because we are already in Wednesday. And I apologize for going live so late, but sometimes that's the only time I can do it. I love you guys, and without you, I don't have a channel. Thank you for always supporting me. It means so much. I love all of y'all. I even love MAGA. I don't want to do it, but I got to do right by God, because I can't get to heaven hating. Okay? I love you, Alan. You always there for me. Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate everyone that has the most kind things to say. I love you guys. God loves you. Pray for the Nolan Wells family. Pray for everybody. Everybody need it. I need it. I'll see you all later. God bless. Goodbye.